Nuno Espirito de Santos has been sacked by Tottenham. Now, I don't know whether I find this funny, whether I find it rushed. 10 games in, and they've sacked their 10th place. They've sacked their 10th place option. They've sacked their 10th place option that they got in the summer. And now Conte looks very much favoured to take over the Spurs hot seat. So, you know, for Spurs, whether Conte will go in there and give them a rocket up that they need, I actually don't know. Will Harry Kane be there under Conte? I don't know. But what now for Spurs and Spurs fans? Is it a matter of them getting top four, getting out of the Conference League? Or will Conte go there, win the Conference League, get into the Europa League, and win the Europa and want to compete in the Europa League at Spurs? Or is it simply Conte till the end of the season, get top four, and Conte bounces? Or are they going to or will Spurs or will Spurs just want a top 6, top 7 finish? Coming from a Chelsea fan's view, I don't get this Conte thing, because if Conte does take over, having rejected them only in the summer, then I don't really understand what Spurs want. What do they want? A top 4-5 finish? Do they want a Europa League finish? Do they want a top 7-8 finish? I don't know what the expectations are at Spurs. And you know, with Conte already rejecting them in the summer, you know, I just have a feeling that, you know, that somehow if money has turned Conte's head to go to Spurs, then I feel that it's a massive risk for Conte, risking his reputation at Spurs. And then you have the whole Harry Kane debacle, the Harry Kane situation, whatever you want to call it. What does he do with Harry Kane? Will this get Harry Kane firing? Or will Harry Kane continue to be down tools for the whole season, even under Conte? Because, you know, we've all seen it. Harry Kane has down tools massively at Spurs. So I don't know whether this will give Harry Kane the kick up the rocket that he needs to actually start firing under Conte, because he won't accept any passengers at this point. Harry Kane is being a passenger for Spurs, and you know he's been down to Son to try and win them games. You know, there's people in that squad, Dele Alli and everyone else. You know, that is that you know that that you know that are complete idiots within the Spurs squad. You know, but you know, you've seen players, you know, saying that they can't get up for the Europa Conference League. You know, so I'm very interested to see how this all pans out, because if it is Conte, as everyone is saying it's going to be Conte at Spurs, how quickly will he fall out with Daniel Levy? Because Daniel Levy he's a villain, really. He gave Harry Kane the handshake and said, yeah, you can leave in the summer, and then decided he didn't want to let him go. So let's see what happens with the Harry Kane situation, because again, he's another situation that's bounding to happen. Hang on, I'm just gonna send. Again, so you know, hang on, I just need to I'm still not sure what's going to happen now with Spurs. Whether they're going to get a top 6-7 finish. I'll just wait for Kenny Kent to come through. Leave it in the comment section what you guys think will actually happen with Harry Kane as well. Right, Kenny Kane's just about to come on. So I'll just wait for Kenny Kent to come through. I'll just wait for Kenny to see if he's going to come on for 5 to 10 minutes. So yeah, I'll just wait to see what if Kenny is going to come on. So let's see. I'm just waiting for Kenny to see if he comes on or not. There he is. Hi, Kenny. So what now? So what now? What does this mean for Harry Kane?
Well, it's not what now is Spurs have got to get coming the rest of the season. You know, they've got to point someone quickly and get their season on track. You know,
it looks like it's looking more and more likely that it is going to be Antonio Conte. Do you think this would give Harry Kane the kick up the rock up the backside to kickstart his season again?
Not at all. Harry, if I was like Conte, I'll get rid of Harry Kane and say, look, sell him this summer. It's a waste of time. The fans are booing his every touch. He clearly don't want to be there. He did actually get Nuno sacked. Nuno sacked because he tried to play Wolves football at Tottenham. He didn't have the players. Nuno's biggest mistake was not, going to Wolves and offering and trying to buy some of their players. He's a fool. But then again, he didn't have the authority to say, look, sell the guy. I can use it for. I can get Song there initially, and then see if I could buy some new players. He wasn't given that opportunity, and it's a results business. And hopefully, people, fans of a certain London club that I support, realise one thing, that your club's got to come first, and it's results business.
This puts Arsenal. This puts Arsenal further back now that if it is Conte, he's going to take the hot seat.
Well, I don't know. The thing is that you look at Arsenal, and you look at all the managers that have gone to a certain clubs. You're looking at a situation of Ten Hag probably going to Newcastle, Conte going to Spurs, and we're stuck with a manager that's learning the job. It does make people like me very resentful of not just of the club, but it makes me resentful of the fans who are backing his manager. But at the moment he's got a bit of a currency, which is results. But I say it once, I say it 1,000 times. This is a long-term thing. Long-term thing.
Do you think Do you think Conte will clash with Daniel Levy having rejected them in the summer?
Well, you don't know if he's got a job yet, because simple reason is that they would have gone to him. But if he's still probably gonna see if the Man United job comes up, which is highly not likely to come up, and then
but everyone is reporting that he's going to be Conte taking the hot seat.
Well, yeah, definitely. But he's going to have more money to spend at Newcastle. Although London's going to be a great attraction, he can go to Barcelona, a traditional club. He's got so many choices. He may think, let me look at the situation. There's no rush for Conte to get a club. But one thing that will help Spurs if they do get if they are trying to go for Conte, is that they've got time. They've got 28 games left. That's enough time to salvage that season. How many points are they off the top four?
I think they're well off it. I think Spurs.
No, they're not. There must be about a few. How many points? 3 or 4?
I'm just getting up the table now. Let's have a look.
How many points are beyond West Ham?
West Ham are after yesterday. West Ham cemented themselves in the top 4. So Spurs are on 15 points. So they're 10 points off the top.
Top 4 or the top 4? Off the top. What about top 4?
So they're 5 points off top 4, but 10 points off.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You see, that's the thing. It's not massive. They've still got the players.
Yeah.
Whoever takes over has got to retweak that midfield. Really retweak.
And you've now got to question what happens with some of the Spurs squad. With the likes of Harry Kane, Dele Alli. A lot of these players. If Conte goes in, he's not going to want to work with some of those. He's going to want his own self.
He's going to have to, because he's got to look at 2 things. He's got the African Nations Club. Plus, if I was Conte, I'd just say, look, you know what, Harry Kane, you don't want to be it. Man City could do with a striker. Sell him. I don't see the problem, the issue, and why Conte.
Do you think Pep will go back in for him in January?
Be a fool not to, because simple reasons. You need that extra kick. He is too good a player not to be considered.
But don't you think City are waiting for Haaland in the summer?
Why they need Haaland when they know when they've been going for Kane all that time? Nothing's changed. They want Harry Kane. They think he's the best. Harry Kane's not. He's only about 28. I'll still go. The football fan in me will say go for him. He's still the best in Europe. Haaland's learning his trade. He's learning his trade. He was at Mulder. Then he's gone to Borussia Dortmund, which is a very good, learning ground for footballers. But he hasn't finished an article. Harry Kane's virtually finished an article. See, Harry Kane.
But why do you think he's suddenly gone from being one of the best strikers in the world to suddenly having the season that he is? Is it because he's still at Spurs, or do you think he's just generally fallen off a cliff?
No, they ain't falling off a cliff. It's not happening for him. The way the team are playing and not suiting his style. He was playing well enough against for under Jose Mourinho. No one can say that Jose Mourinho didn't get the best out of Harry Kane. How many goals did he score? Golden Boot, and he got the most assists. So you can't say that individually he had a poor season last season. Regardless of what you think about Jose Mourinho and the football he's playing, he had a great season. So clearly, he doesn't want to be Spurs because he's already mentally at Man City. And 2, this guy's football isn't suiting his style. I should know. I was at the North London derby when we played them. They were there for the taking. They players didn't know what day it was.
So now that Nuno is available, if the Arsenal job did suddenly
No,
become
not at all,
available?
because you have to be honest with yourself. He struggled in his last few months at Wolves. The
Mm,
results after they beat us were horrendous. Mentally he's going to leave anyway. Then he went to Spurs, got his big chance, but he didn't change. He didn't adapt to Spurs. Adapt to the players you've got, and gradually try to change them. He had no style of play, a bit like we have under Arteta to a certain extent. Although he's managed to,
But now with
stumble
another top
across
manager
something.
almost out of the running in Conte, how far back does that put you guys
Well,
as
it's
a
not.
football club?
To be honest, it's not really an Arsenal issue. It's a Tottenham issue. But if you look at it long term, you are going to look at it and think, right, that's another club. No one of our rivals has got a top top manager that we've got
Yeah,
to
that's
get.
what I'm
But
saying. Does that put Arsenal further behind?
well, it's not really if it do Arsenal. One thing I will say is that Arsenal Football Club has always been a club that always backs his managers. So people at Arsenal Football Club, I'm going to see this as irrelevance because they're happy, and they're satisfied. One with Mikel, and two, they're determined to give him enough time. Whatever they want to achieve, we don't know what Arsenal want to achieve. We don't know whether Arsenal want to win the league again, challenge for it, or get
I
a
don't
top
think you're
four.
ever winning. I don't think you're ever winning a league title with Mikel in charge. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll never know that because
Well, we'll never know, but I'd be very, very surprised because it's been
But
almost 17 years since your last league title.
football's full of surprises. But again, I don't think it's going to happen under him, but I would like it to happen. But the club are satisfied if the club decide that they're happy with the commercial side of things and getting into Europe. Then they're happy with that. Then he's going to stay. If they're not, if they want big ambitions, then we have to wait and see. As I said before, if Mikel Arteta, or dare I say, let me just rephrase it, if Arsenal do get a new owner with deep pockets, allegedly, then a new owner invariably is going to want a top manager. They're not going to be satisfied.
Yeah, because you look at West Ham. You look at West Ham now. They're coming into this Czech billionaires almost.
Well, how many? Well, he hasn't bought the club totally. He's bought 29%.
29%, but apparently he's leading to a full takeover. Well, from
if he's leading to
the
a full
reports
takeover,
that were there.
If he's leading to a full takeover, then all current managers are vulnerable when you have a full takeover. The same with any manager. Any manager at Spurs would be vulnerable. Newcastle, obviously, we saw Steve Bruce was vulnerable when they got a new takeover, and if we get taken over, managers are vulnerable because owners don't buy clubs in order for them to finish, order them to just tick over. They want to win trophies. It's for our egos at least.
Yeah, and if Conte does take over, what do you think the expectations for him will be at Spurs? Will it be to win the Conference League, or will it be to get them into the top four?
Top four, and the Conference League, a trophy. He has to win. He has to win a trophy. League Cup, they're still in it. Quarterfinals, the FA Cup, they still haven't got to play. Then he has to win a trophy and get the top four. Top four trophy. That is going to be an. But you don't know. If
that's the only thing that is sort of making me wonder whether Conte will go, because will he say to Levy, actually, I don't really want to compete in this Conference League type thing?
Yeah, it's not down to him. When he went to remember when he first went there into Milan, they're in the Europa League and they got to the final, lost against Sevilla. So
but that's the Europa League. This is the Europa Conference. It's a step down.
Yeah, but we didn't know about the conference when the Europa League was when they were in that final. What we knew was that the Europa League is inferior to the Champions League, but he still went along with it. Still won the league, got himself in the Champions League, and when he got in the Champions League, they struggled.
Are you going to?
Let's face it.
If Conte does get confirmed today, would you be worried as an Arsenal fan, or would you just say, "Oh, it's just another step backwards"?
Well, we don't know that. We're only going to be worried if they start winning and they start getting the top of us in terms of the table, and they're in contention winning trophies. We're not. We're worried about Mourinho. What happened? Spurs finished above us in both Mourinho's. He didn't have the second full season, but let's face it, they finished above us in 2020. They finished above us last season, so it's not as if they did great shakes, but they still finished above us. They didn't win anything, didn't get in the top four, but you know, Arsenal fans are always going to worry when if Spurs or Chelsea get a big owner because they know Arsenal want to be the top club in London, and not just in name, which we are, but they want trophies to prove that. So of course we're going to be worried. But at the end of the day, it's not really anything to do with Arsenal at the moment. At this moment of time, what happens? All we're doing is looking for a far and just seeing if Spurs do make a decision. We'll find that maybe later in the week. Who knows? They might be taking their time, and then who knows? Ryan Mason might get the job. We just don't know.
Yeah. All right, Kenny. Thank you for coming on, and hopefully
I'll speak to you soon.
I'll speak to you again later on or something.
No problem. All right, speak to you later. Bye.
All right, cheers, Kenny.